Hello, my friend. Let's start our first video in the series of role of the state in economic. This series will be divided into 8 videos where we'll discuss in detail. Firstly, let's define the state in economic. So let's begin with the basic. When we refer to the state in economics, we are not just talking about the government in vague terms. The state refers to the organized system of governance that includes various institutions like executive, legislative, and judicial branches. It encompasses the decision made by this institution, whether at the national, regional, or local level. So the state in economic term have a few core functions. First, it provides a framework of law and regulation that structure the economy, included property right, contract, and dispute resolution. Second, it offers public goods and services like defense, infrastructure, education that mark alone may fail to provide effectively. Third, the state redistributes income to reduce inequality through welfare programs, progressive taxation, and other mechanisms. However, in economic, we don't just see that state as a neutral entity. It's also an economic agent with interest, goal, and resource. Whether it is central government setting economic policy or local authority regulation business. The decision of the state impact both the macro, and the micro aspect of the economic. For example, if your town needs a new branch, the government will decide to spend money to build it, and that decision impact business who get the construction contract, workers who get job, and even people like you who can use the branch. In economic, when we talk about the state, we mean how this decision impact the economy. So now that we have a working definition of the state, let's move on how the economic policies influence economic outcome. Economists analyze state intervention mainly through two lenses, macro and microeconomic. At the macro level, the state influences both economic indicators like GDP, inflation, unemployment, and trade balance. The government can stimulate or cool down the economic using tools such as fiscal policy, and monetary policy, which we'll explore in more detail in later videos. So think about the 2008 financial crisis or the COVID pandemic. Government interventions play a pivotal role in the mitigating the economic fallout during this crisis. For instance, during economic downturn, government often use fiscal stimulus package like increasing public spending or reducing tax to boost demand and create jobs. On the flip side, when the economy overheats, they may increase tax or reduce spending to prevent inflation. Central banks, which are part of the state apparatus, use monetary policy tools like adjusting interest rate to control inflation and ensure economic stability. On the micro side, the state affects individual market, business, and consumer. Government regulation can affect supply and demand in specific industry, alter competitive landscape, and even impact price directly. Take, for example, the regulation of natural monopoly, like electricity or water utility, where the state steps in to prevent market failure and ensure that consumers are not overcharged. Another micro example is a labor market intervention. Minimum wage law, and employee benefit and labor right are all state policy designed to protect workers and ensure fair market outcome. These policies don't just shape labor market, but have ripple effect across the inter-economy. But government policy aren't always benefit. Sometimes state intervention can lead the unintended consequence. For instance, over strictly regulation may stifle innovation or excessive taxation may discourage investment. This is why economic research or state policy is crucial. It helps government optimize intervention for the best economic outcome. We'll explore these trade-offs in the future video as we get into a specific example of regulation and taxation. Understanding the role of state in economic research is critical for several reasons. Whether you are looking at the macro trend or focusing on the micro level market. First, in the macro research, the role of the state is indispensable. When analyzing an issue like business cycle, inflation, and employment, imagine trying to understand the economic without considering government action like monetary policy or fiscal stimulus. That would be like trying to solve puzzle without half the piece. Government policy influence aggregate demand, interest rate, and even trade balance. So ignoring state role in the macroeconomic analysis would provide an incomplete picture of the economic reality. Second, at the macro level, understanding how state policy affect individual market is essential. For example, research into the behavior of firm of or consumer must consider the regulatory environment. How does government intervention in specific industry like tech, energy, after the behavior market of participate? A business may adjust its production plan based on change in tax policy or labor law. Similarly, consumers may change their spending habit in response to changes in welfare policy or public good provision. In short, whether you are looking at the big picture question like economic growth or smaller scale issue like market efficiency, this stays always in the equation. Government shape in incentive, distribute resources, and create institutions directly impact the economy. Research that fail incorporate this dimension is incomplete if not flawed. Let's take example of a town where the government raised the minimum wage. How much worker must be paid by law? An economist may study the impact of this decision. Will business hire few people because labor costs are higher, or will workers spend more money because they have higher wage? Boosting the local economy, understanding how the state's decision after both business and people help economists make better prediction and recommendations. Now that we have introduced the role of state in economy, let's take a look at what's coming up in this series. The next video will divide in regulation, where we explore how the state regulation market to ensure efficiency, equity, and safety, but also the potential downside of overregulation. Each of these topics will be broken down with real-world example, research insight, and critical debate that are shaping economics today. So whether you are economist or student or just curious about how government influence economic, this series will provide you with the tool and understanding to analyze the role of the state in economic system. Thank you for joining me in this introduction of the role of state in economic. In the next video, we'll be diving into regulation, and I'm excited to explore how government intervention shape markets. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any upcoming content. See you next video.